Good late evening, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with your weekly live stream as I struggle to get through with my losing voice. But hey, don't have to worry about that because there's a million books to talk about today. It was the day of a million books, it feels like, and all sorts of amazing things I can strain my voice further to talk to you all about because there is some awesome releases. Of course, before that, I want to go over the fact that we had an amazing signing this last weekend, thanks to all of you coming out and meeting Kevin Eastman, the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, along with the Turtles writer, Tom Waltz, and Turtles cover artist, Death Masson. It was an amazing event. Thank you all for helping to make that happen. I want to tell you we have two more amazing events later this week. We are going to have our traditional and annual White Elephant. So for $20, you get to come in and participate in a great white elephant without having to bring any present or any wrapping of any kind. We've got that all covered for you. Some amazing prizes, all with a absolute minimum value of $20 MSRP. Many of them far exceeding that. It's going to be awesome. And then on top of that, we're going to be celebrating our anniversary this Saturday with our traditional anniversary party. That means we're going to be closing at 8 p.m. early. So come in, reserve a ticket for that. There will be pizza, drinks, and all sorts of fun, so we can celebrate all things Knowhere. Me and Ken will be kicking back, playing games, and hanging out all night. Now, that being said, we're going to get ready to dive into the new comics, so I will, as always, introduce my wonderful co-host, the amazing Richard Rebello.
How's it going? Christmas definitely came early with all these books. It's insane how many books came out. I actually had to just cram a bunch of reading in. I'm going to keep all my commentary short so we can get through it all, because on top of that, I have to go home and watch Mando.
You haven't watched Mandalorian yet?
Watch it a second time.
Okay.
Mandalorian, tomorrow's Star Wars, so it's like Christmas a week early. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fitting shirt for that reason.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So let's get to the comic books. There's a lot to talk about. Like I said, I'll keep it brief because otherwise we'll be here for days.
Yeah. All right, let's dive right into things. So we're going to start off as we always do, minus my voice breaking on that, with our wonderful trades and hardcovers. Right off the bat, the man behind Albatross Comics, Eric Powell, has a wonderful art book, The Many Mistakes of Eric Powell. It is awesome. It's actually rather comedic as well as a fun look through his very long and amazing career. If you just enjoyed the end of the Watchmen TV series, if you've just read Watchmen for the first time, if you're getting ready to finish Doomsday Clock off today, the Watchmen Companion is a must-own with all sorts of exciting new information as well as classic keys you might have missed. Sonata, the great Brian Haberlin's amazing sci-fi stories, gets wrapped in its first arc with a trade paperback out today from David Hine and Brian Haberlin. The first season of Green Lantern gets a trade paperback collection today with Graham Morrison and Liam Sharp doing it. And we get the, I believe, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th trade paperback of Batman for Tom King's Rebirth run. A run that ended today. Diving into the comics this week, we have Amazing Spider-Man 36, which still continues the great Nick Spencer run that deals with the year 2099. Some cool covers available there. We also have Agents of Atlas, for some reason hidden away behind this, which ends this miniseries run right here and sets up Atlantis Attacks. The infamous Xmas project we've been talking about for a while from Mark Millar is finally revealed, and it is the sequel to American Jesus. Do you need to read the original American Jesus? No, you do not. You can dive right into the new Messiah, as this fun one takes place in the 1970s, as a young girl is told she will be the mother of the future prophet, and all the absolutely insane things that will follow such a command. Angel continues its crossover with Buffy and Hellmouth in the new issue out today. Well, we get an angel of a different kind, an Angel de la Muerte, from the great guys at Red 5 Comics. Annihilation wraps up in Annihilation Scourge, the Omega one-shot that will give us all sorts of exciting conclusions to the Cancerverse version of the Century. There's that Agents of Atlas again, in case you missed it. Aquaman, a fun Year of the Villain tie-in with a great set of covers. Nothing like seeing Aquaman playing around with his tentacle on the throne. Then we hit Basket Full of Heads, the third issue of the new Joe Hill title with a great cover there. Let's turn to my master of horror, Richard, to talk about this.
Amazing cover by Tula Ote. Fantastic cover, actually. Cover A's look like they're gone, so you're in luck. The cover B is gorgeous. That said, June Branch has her first talking head in her basket while she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on and get answers from this talking head. She has not escaped trouble yet, and trouble finds her yet again. This series, the Joe Hill stuff is just killer. The whole line, really enjoying this one. So that's it. I'll keep it short, like I said. So let's move on.
Moving on, Batman issue 85, wrapping up Tom King's 85 issue run. That actually is a little bit more than 85 issues due to the very great tie-ins that we've had with annuals, secret files, and more. This is the big conclusion to the City of Bane, and it is big, it is epic, it is exercised, and it sets us all up for Batman 86, the start of James Tynion's run, which will fully acknowledge this. I have actually had the chance to read and know that it will, as well as set us up for the eventual 2020 release of Batman and Catwoman. But this is a huge ending. It is amazing. It pulls everything together. Tom King just knocked it out of the park there. Janine doing great artwork. It is awesome. Speaking of Batman, how about Batman Superman as we hit issue number 5, continuing the infected storyline as the heroes now must deal with their infected DC Universe compatriots. Batman also wraps up another storyline in Last Night on Earth, the final issue of this awesome 3-part prestige format of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, the writer and artist of the amazing New 52 run of Batman, going for a big blast.
Is it worth it? Is it finally pay off? Because I haven't read that one yet, and I can't wait to go home and finish reading the rest of my books.
It's good. I hope these two are not done working together because this was a really awesome read.
I need to get to that one.
Black Panther continues to wrap up the Intergalactic Empire Wakanda with issue number 19. Well, the guys at Vault release Black Star. The guys at Titans release the newest issue of Blade Runner, issue number 5 out now. Well, a new storyline starts at Valiant's Bloodshot with issue number 4. And if you haven't noticed, I have the comics so tightly pressed because there's that many that got released this week. And some of them are sold out amazingly. Catwoman hits its 18th issue this week. We have issue number 4 of Chastity with some great covers. Gotta love it. Conan, the Serpent War, hits its 2nd issue this week with a great connecting cover. And then a main cover that my Hyborian lore master will share with you.
Yeah, I stole that one. Sorry, I thought there was more up there.
There's more.
This is a fantastic read. It's now getting started. The first issue was, the setup, the introduction, all the characters, and now we get going on the adventure. James Ellison transports the characters to meet each other. You have Agnes going to the Hyborian Age. She teams up with Conan, and Moon Knight goes to the 1500s England and gets teamed up with Solomon Kane. They get introduced to each other. They got to figure out how to work together to eventually take on this journey to beat the Serpent God, and it's a lot of fun. It's really taken off now. This should have been issue 1, but I understand issue 1 needed to explain it to anyone that's a new reader, so good read.
All right. And can we hand one of those to Cesar in a moment?
Cesar?
Yeah, Cesar just requested one.
There you go.
Count Crowley continues on her drunken adventures as a late-night horror host in issue number 3, the penultimate issue of that. Well, Critical Role continues moving on its Vox Machina origins, issue number 4 out today from the great Matthew Mercer and Jody Hauser. We still, of course, have Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child, though we're coming down to our last few copies, so make sure you hop on that. Deja Thoris, the great princess of Mars, no longer a princess in this title, but still an ever so amazing warrior woman. You need to check out Dan Abnett's awesome new take with her. Then we wrap up, after over 2 years, Doomsday Clock number 12. It is the end to the sequel to Watchmen, the definition of the starting of the DC Universe, and so much more. But is it truly the end? Because, as Dr. Manhattan has told us before, there is no such thing as endings. 3 amazing covers. I particularly love the blank yellow cover. But make sure you grab all of them. Doomsday Clock.
Possibly end with the first appearance on the final page?
Whoa, spoilers.
Sorry.
Eternals finally getting reprinted. The facsimile edition of Eternals #1, introducing all these amazing Jack Kirby characters. Soon to be an incredible movie, I'm sure, from Marvel Studios. We have Excalibur. Excalibur and Fallen Angels back to back. What? 2 X-Men titles in a week? There's actually more. But to talk about these, I'm going to go to my correspondent in Krakoa, Richard.
Yep, there's more. There was actually 5 of the 6 that came out this week. It was a big week, and the X titles all dropped at once, with the exception of X-Men, which was interesting. That said, this was the first time in a while that they all really seemed tied together, and that might have been why they dropped them all together. Starting with Excalibur, you have Betsy Braddock as the new Excalibur. Sorry. Shoot, I'm
Captain Britain.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Forming the Excalibur team, while Gambit is sent on a mission from Apocalypse to try to save Rogue. So there's that. And then, yeah, the Fallen Angels, which, picks up from, if you've been reading it, Cable was kidnapped in the last one, or captured in the last one. Not kidnapped, he's
He's
a kid,
kind of a kid there.
He's a kid, so he's captured, he's kidnapped, whatever. And Psylocke and X-23 are trying to get trying to find him and rescue him. And I think there's a first appearance in this. There's a character that appears that I have not seen before, and they don't say who it is, so I believe it's a first appearance, but I don't want to give any spoilers, so pick it up, and we'll discuss the other 3 books as they come up.
All right. Speaking of other books, Family Tree, it's issue 2 from the great Jeff Lemire and Phil Hester. Farmhand, another wonderful Image book, continues on from the great Rob Guillory, issue number 12. Speaking of things around issue number 12, how about Firefly number 12 with some great cover options there? And then issue number 2 of Matt Kent's epic new fantasy adventure about a man who doesn't like believing in fantasy lifestyle. The man who wants to come to our world, Folklords.
This is fantastic. This is exactly what we were hoping it would get. Is that cover B? That's
Yeah.
Awesome FOC variant right there. It's the one I picked up. This is the beginning of the blending of the 2 worlds, reality, what's a fairy tale, what isn't. And it's really well told because it's kind of, the genre is a fairy tale, and it just is written in that, and it kind of plays out in that, and you're trying to determine what is going on, and it's really cool. I don't know really how to explain it without giving spoilers, but it's a really fun read. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Definitely pick it up. If we had more time, I'd go into depth about it, but let's move on again.
Yeah, too many books out this week.
Way too
so
many.
we dive directly into the future with Future Foundation, issue number 5 out today. Ghost Spider also hitting issue number 5 today. It also has a great 2020 variant. Gung Ho, my pick of the week. I am absolutely in love with this, so I'm going to take a moment to talk about this great series. We are down to just 1 cover. Oh my God, we've sold so many of it, but that's great. Because Gung Ho is a post-apocalyptic story, almost a post-apocalyptic zombie tale, except the things that are fighting off the humans are far from zombies. They are giant gibbon-like monsters with what is known as the White Virus, or I believe the White Plague. And in this story, a group of teenagers are sent away from the walled cities where humans are hidden away into what is known as the Danger Zone, where small civilizations continue to exist, but rules are made to keep people alive there. And breaking the rules means that you are risking the lives not only of yourself, but everyone in your society. Can a group of rowdy teenage boys actually help and maintain the world that they know? Or are they too busy living to care about dying? A really amazing book with stunning artwork by 2 absolutely brilliant German comic creators. You do not want to miss Gung Ho Black Sheep, issue number 1. Harleen, Ken's pick of the week, wraps up with its 3rd and final issue from the absolutely amazing Stepan Sajic. I am hoping Stepan Sage continues to get to write and draw all these amazing series. 2 incredible covers as we get the origin of Harleen Quinzel. Moving on, we have Heart Attack, issue number 2 from Skybound. Well, Maria Lovett's Heartbeat, issue number 2 comes from Boom. A beautiful cover by Jem Bartel as we continue to deal with vampires at this young girl's high school. We have the Marvel Universe, or specifically the history of the Marvel Universe, wrapping up with issue 6 from Mark Waid. Another infected tie-in The Commissioner deals with Commissioner Jim Gordon, now infected by the Batman Who Laughs. Invaders hits its 12th issue this week from the great Chip Zdarsky, who we know is setting up for some craziness in the Atlantean War.
I just have a quick question on that one that you might know. I didn't see a solicit for the next issue. This one solicits it's the end of this. I don't know if it's the story arc or the Invaders. I have not read it yet, unfortunately. I had too many things to do. But do you know, does it continue? Because please let it continue.
I will say
awesome
this.
Story.
As much as I love this, look forward to Greg Pak's upcoming miniseries, Atlantis Attacks.
So it is ending. That's disappointing, but I can't wait to find out how it ends.
Yeah, it is a good one. Hellblazer hits its second issue of John Constantine Hellblazer from the great Cy Spurrier, tying into the Sandman universe. Justice League 38 brings us to the end of the Injustice Society War. That is not the name of the term of them, but I am lacking in mentality as we get over 10 p.m. So yes, Justice League issue number 38 out. Make sure you grab this awesome Scott Snyder and Phil Jimenez story. Only 2 issues left that Scott Snyder is writing a Justice League. Then we get to the annual time because it's almost Christmas. Klaus is back. Yes, the young Santa Claus, Klaus, gives us more tales in a rather advent calendar-like twist. You'll note, this is the way to read it, with 2 amazing covers. Jason Aaron wraps up a 7-year run on Thor with King Thor number 4 and graces the cover himself. Well, Legion of Superheroes hits its 2nd issue. The amazing series by Brian Michael Bendis and Ryan Sook at DC brings us to the future. And what is that? Aquaman's Trident, found by Jonathan Kent. Then we hit The Low Woods, which I have a lot I would love to say, but I'm going to turn it away to, once again, my master of horror, the man who knows Hill House better than he does his own, Joe Hill fan, Richard, with a beautiful Jenny Frison cover.
I was just going to say the Frison cover, but if you have so much to say, please chime in, because this is a great read.
I don't know, I always love the idea of a coal mine that is just near permanently on fire since you can't put those things out.
So this takes place in a town called Shudder to Think, Pennsylvania. You have our
I shudder to think who named that.
main protagonists, Elle and Octavia here, wake up in a movie theater and they don't know what the heck happened over the past several hours, so they go
That's how I feel with a lot of movies.
Yeah, they're trying to recall what happened. It is a creepy book. There's like a woman that's half deer, rabbits with eyes, human eyes, not eyes, but human eyes. It's a fun read. It's a great horror book. This one is definitely among the bunch, probably the more mature of them, so it's definitely not for younger readers. But it's a good time. It's if you like horror, you can't go wrong. The Hill House line is really knocking it out of the park.
All right. Moving along, if you want more horror, how about Dan Waters' Lucifer hitting issue 15 this week? We also have some great horror in Lucy Clare Redemption, as this young girl continues to fight werewolves by John Upchurch. Machine Girl hits issue 2 as we get a beautiful young female robot who goes to battle pits to make her money. Magic the Gathering Chandra, a year later, finally wraps up with issue number 4 from Vita Ayala with the Chandra versus Tybalt battle. The Magicians, fans of both the TV show and novel, should be grabbing this amazing series that is the next class of students at Breakbill's College for Magic Uses. 2 great covers available there. And then we hit Marauders, which I will turn quickly to my Krakoan expert.
I'm just holding it because this is your favorite book.
It is the best of the Dawn of X titles.
It's actually a really good one. So the Marauders, they have 2 functions in the X titles here. The main one is actually to get the Krakoan drugs out to the rest of the planet that hasn't signed on to the agreement with Krakoa. But the other thing they do is make sure that they're out there rescuing mutants that need to get to Krakoa. And it starts with Storm just laying a whooping on someone, and just badass. So it's a good read. Then it picks up with Kitty Pryde and her new Red Bishop going on a mission to rescue someone else. It's a fun, good read, and you can't go wrong. Like I said, all of them are kind of making a lot of sense, especially since
Just lost it. Yep, no, we're connected again.
we lost a connection. So I don't know what I just last said and what you
I
last heard,
believe
but it
you
was
just
good.
caught off at
It's good.
yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's Marauders.
Storm
It's
kicks
good.
ass. Kitty Pryde kicks ass. Red Bishop, the Red Bishop kicks ass. Read it.
Marauders, best of the X books. Then we have Marvel Action Spider-Man wrapping up this amazing Venom crossover. As if you couldn't get better than an all-ages Spider-Man book with Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Man. Why not throw Venom into the mix? Metal Man, issue number 3 out this week from the co-publisher DC Comics, Dan DiDio and Shane Davis. We have Middle West. It's like Harry Potter in Kansas, written by Scotty Young with art by the amazing Jorge Corona. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers hits a beautiful foil cover this week. And then we have Mirka Andolfo's Unsacred, a very, very fun love story with more than just the traditional love between the demon and angels on your shoulders. Great, great artwork on these covers. Even more amazing artwork inside. You don't want to miss out on this fun book. Then we get to another one that I also love, Money Shot by Tim Seeley. It is an incredible, incredible story set in a future where society has fallen apart and idiocracy has become mainstream. Find out how these scientists fund their experiments with particularly unique extracurricular activities abroad in this hilarious, mature comic. Then we get to yet another great X title where I'm going to send you not to Krakoa, but all the way to the Shi'ar Empire with Richard to discuss.
Right here in Nebraska. That's right, Nebraska. So, Beacon Angel went missing, and Armor and Blob and a couple others, not Blob, Glob, went to go find him because basically they needed to help his father who was sick. And the theme of the books this week is rescues. They need to be rescued. Someone comes to rescue them, and it's just, again, another fun action adventure. Good time, good read. None of them are bad this week at all. They're all just fun to read. So definitely keeping me going. Can't wait to see what happens in issue number 5.
All right,
too close to the camera.
Nightwing 67 hits this week with the great... Is that the reappearance of Dick Grayson? Well, you'll have to find out, or maybe he's still a Talon. Old Guard returns in Force Multiplied by Greg Rucka, especially on the news that we're going to be potentially getting an Old Guard TV series.
With Charlize Theron.
Yeah, with Charlize Theron, there you go. The great Cena Grace graces us with Read Only Memories, a comic adaptation of the popular video game. Red Mother is still there. Absolutely an amazing read. We've talked about this quite a few times, so we're not going to go any more into it, but grab it. It's awesome. Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider is out with some amazing cover options. Halem and Hepburn on this awesome book. A lot of really, really great covers available. And yes, Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, the people who created the Cosmic Ghost Rider, have a story in the back.
I believe there's also a first appearance in that as well.
Yes, indeed. Scream, Curse of Carnage hits issue 2 this week, while Safe Sex hits issue number 4. Loving this wonderful book. Cirrus hits its first and only issue, I believe, the one-shot Reckless from SourcePoint Press. Shazam! Oh, I cannot say Shazam the way I wish I could. My voice is just dying out. Has some absolutely awesome covers available. If you have not already grabbed it, come in and grab that amazing, amazing piece. As Jeff Johns continues the run. Skull Diggers, a spin-out of Black Hammer, is a new number 1 by Jeff Lemire with some great covers. I'm loving that Diodato cover. Spider-Man hits issue number 3, part of the J.J. Abrams one, and this is the pick of the week of Mr. Robello. So I will send you into the future to talk J.J. Abrams Spider-Man.
That's right, my pick of the week, and I won't give any details away from this, but it is my favorite thing I've read this week so far. I have read a bunch of them. A lot of the stuff is no longer on the wall, so apparently I picked the wrong ones to read before coming in. That said, this has a very shocking moment in it, almost as shocking as issue 1, if you've read that. Really cool appearances of some characters that you absolutely are going to love. Won't spoil it at all because it's so cool when you see them, especially how well they're written. And yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. Don't miss it. It's a book that I didn't think I wanted to read at all, and I love it. So
all right.
The Abrams are killing it.
And if you need more Spider-Man, how about Spider-Man from the video game universe of the PlayStation video game? Velocity hits its 5th issue. If you're a Star Trek fan, you're going to love not only the Countdown to Picard, issue 2 is in stock. We have a restock of issue 1 if you need it. We have issue number 9 of the season 5 or of the year 5 season, once again by McCann, Lansing, and Kelly. We have the original motion picture magazine in a wonderful facsimile reprint edition, exactly as it was in full magazine size format. And then for those who are loving Star Wars and getting ready for the new movie, how about The Rise of Kylo Ren? Another awesome pick of the week of mine is Suicide Squad, written by the great Tom Taylor, the man who brought us Deceased and so many other classics. He introduces a whole new team in this book. He puts the Suicide Squad through the ringer, and he also introduces a major threat that will shape the upcoming stories. It is the best Suicide Squad has been since John Ostrander was writing it, if I'm being 100% honest. You cannot get better, especially with an amazing Francisco Mattina cover, not that blank one, but that one right there. Do not miss out on Suicide Squad this time around.
Did you mention the 600 first appearances?
Oh yeah, and there's quite a few major first appearances that will actually be of note. Tales from Harrow County, the man behind horror, Cullen Bunn himself, has a new Harrow County series starting with a new number 1 you're going to want to pick up. Well, Adam Glass continues to wrap up the Teen Titans storyline with Who is the Outsider? Awesome John Boy Myers covers on that. Tony Stark's Iron Man hits issue 19, wrapping up the Ultron Agenda storyline as well as getting us set up for 2020 with a great 2020 variant. Then we're moving on over Undiscovered Country, which number 2, still amazing. Make sure you come and grab this. Woven Heart from Mad Cave. It's its 3rd issue. This is a fun one. It is high action. It is beautiful artwork. You do not want to miss it. We wrap up the 5th and final X title this week. No, X-Men number 4 did not come out this week. It will be coming out in a few weeks. We have X-Force by Benjamin Percy. Let's head to Krakoa.
The best of the X titles. I'm sorry, Matthias, but it's the best.
Oh, so we're talking about Marauders again?
No, X-Force. X-Force is the best. There's a lot to love in this. There's some nitpicky things I can nitpick over, but overall, it's still the best title going of the 4, of the 5, of the 6, the 27. I don't know which one it is.
I'll just say I don't have to nitpick anything about Marauders.
Well, there's plenty to nitpick about Marauders, but that's okay.
About how awesome it is? Yeah.
That said, this is the X-Force team. Starts out with the intelligence branch, kind of like the CIA, and goes straight into the Delta Force with Wolverine whooping some ass with Domino. And it ends on an insane cliffhanger, and I was just like, wait, that's the last page. You cannot do that. When's issue 5? That's all I gotta say.
A few weeks away.
What the hell? These X titles, this is like X-Men, that one giant cliffhanger. This is like the same thing happens. Not the same thing happens, but the same magnitude of cliffhanger at the end of this one. All
right, sounds fun. Now we're going to wrap up with just 2 more titles this week, both from DC. We have Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen. Yes, the Batman who laughs against Lex Luthor, Apex Lex Luthor. The Year of the Villain storyline meets up with the Infected storyline here in this new miniseries with 2 awesome covers. Can you name all the Infected? And then we get to Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, book number 1, the newest Black Label Prestige Plus format, written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. This thing has 2 awesome covers and deals with Wonder Woman many years in the future after humanity has died off, but Earth, though listed as dead, still has life, and it is horrifying. Can Wonder Woman survive against it? Find out by grabbing this issue. One thing that we are sold out of, I want to point out, is Once and Future, issue number 5. It was amazing. We have a restock on the way. Make sure you do not miss out on that. Those are the comics of this week, December 18th, 2019. We will be closed on December 25th without the ability to sell those new comics, so come back Thursday for new comics on December 26th. We will have some amazing things like Incoming and Doctor Strange. Thank you all for joining us.
And Venom.
And Venom. Yes, come back next week for Venom Island.
Let's go see Star Wars.